So we are coming to you from the Wall of Grippies today because we are talking about grip stuff. In strongman, you're going to come across events that are just grip specific, say a farmer's hold, a Hercules hold. You got other stuff that's not grip specific, but really taxing on your hands, your forearms, your wrists. Stone lifting,
Exactly.
sandbags, rope pulley things that are going to tax your hands, things like that. So our goal here today is to show you a bunch of the stuff that we've got here, and in a second section that we've set up of other things to give you some ideas from things that you might want to buy, make, how you could use some things that you already have at home to work on your grip and your wrist and forearm strength. It turns out we have a lot of stuff. So I think we may even miss some of it, and we'll probably just do some individual videos later. Get going, let's get started.
All right. Well, let's start off with what we have here. So this is the Iron grippers. Now, none of this stuff is like an endorsement.
No, we're not sponsored. We're not selling you anything.
No.
We make no money whether you buy these things or not.
This is just an accumulation of stuff, like 30 years of collecting. So, but Iron grippers, I think, hands down, no pun intended, probably one of the best investments that you can make with grip. Squeeze them, you can do timed holds, which I find very beneficial, especially like say if your back is very fatigued and you're training for like say a farmer's hold event or a car hold event, you just don't have it in you. Well, you know, you do timed holds with these things and everything is right through here, saves your back, but whoo, man,
not fun.
It's intense. It can be intense. A friend of ours gave us this. We have absolutely no idea what the tensile strength in this is, but this is kind of fun. With the Iron grippers, you can go through, you can get like a certification. I believe for the ladies, it's the number 2 gripper.
I think so.
And then for the men, I believe it's the number 3 gripper.
They do a certification through Iron. They also do a Crush to Dust challenge, and they have a women's one now, and those involve the grippers, and we'll get to them later, the hub and the Rolling Thunder also. So those are fun things if you get into grip. These are all sold individually. You may want to get some lighter ones and just start working your way up on it. I know you can also get some sets. My brother had purchased one from Amazon. Seemed to be pretty decent, but you just don't really know exactly what you're getting. These, you know what you're getting. They're going to last you a long time, but they're going to be a lot more expensive than if you're getting like an Amazon set.
Most of these I've had since, well, probably 30 years. They still have held up, so really good investment. Something I would highly recommend. The next thing that we have are the replicas of the Denny rings. If you're really into pain, get these.
Ow.
Yeah. These hurt. If you do the ring lifts, be very mindful and work into it slowly. If you strain a tendon in your hand, you're out for a good deal of time. So be mindful, be very smart when you're training with the rings.
Yeah, those are maybe the most painful or second most painful. I'm
Might be
not
the second
sure.
most painful.
Probably second. We'll get there. We'll get there soon.
These are fun. So here's some things that you can probably make on your own.
Yeah,
so,
this is actually Danny's and the smaller coin. He just made these, and get a loading pin, put some weight on there, hook them up, and lift them. This one I think he was calling the Dunder lift in because it's like a sheet of paper.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But also, you know, we went to the Arnold this year and last year, and so we took one of the coins that we got, drilled a hole through it, and so it's just a coin lift. You know, it's just something to work your hands a little bit different.
Yeah, I thought Arnold was going to be like a really good knurling versus the Danny coin. No, it's not.
It's very slick.
It's still slippery.
Yeah.
It didn't help at all.
I think it's because this is made out of brass. I think it's just a slicker metal.
Yeah, that could be. We have the Iron hub.
Yeah, and then the homemade hub.
The homemade hoob.
This thing's like 30 years old, maybe 25, but it's similar enough. Yeah, it's a pinch grip.
Same basic, and again, if you're really into grip and stuff, you want to do an Iron challenge. This is part of their Crush to Dust challenge. Put your loading pin and keep working up the weight on it.
Way
I
harder.
like this one. This one's fun.
Yeah, way harder than it looks. It actually simulates. It's supposed to simulate like old school picking up a York plate, 45-pound plate, the center from the hub. So the pinch grip blocks. So they range, I believe, 2 inches, 3 inches, and 3.5. So this thing, I made.
I can't even tell it's homemade.
You can't tell.
No.
Probably 1996 or so, maybe before, maybe 95. So It's seen some use. Works well. It's an eye bolt, and there's something you can make at home. The other pinch grip locks made later. It just hits the hands a little bit differently. Yeah. So. Now we just purchased these not all that long ago. This is mostly for like arm wrestling exercises. However, we figured out how to kind of use these to help out with the strongman stuff. This is called the Wrist Max. And what you do is you put your hand in it like so, load up a loading pin, and what you do is you kind of cup your hands. You'll have your arms straight down, obviously, but you'll cup your hands like so. Or you can put it up into the cable attachment.
Yeah.
You know, that's what this is basically for. It's like for over the top, rolling over the top in arm wrestling. However, if you train it like so, it actually helps scooping the sandbag or the Atlas stone or natural stone in close to the body. You know, so if your forearms are weak, if your wrists are weak, it's not going to be as good. You can train the back till you're blue in the face, but if your forearms are weak, that's going to be the weak link, obviously. So we got this just to help out in that area.
Arm wrestling is a good place to be looking for new grippy, wristy forearm stuff.
Yeah, excellent place.
Yeah.
And it's like I say, we haven't really used this one much. We just
Yeah.
bought this not that long ago. Actually, it was a gift. But it's the same. It's the same principle as to kind of rolling the wrist in so you can actually acquire the bag or the stone better. And you could reverse it. You can reverse the bands and use the upper part of the forearm. I'm not going to get too technical with the musculature, but you can use the extenders and whatnot.
Both of these were just on Amazon.
Relatively cheap, honestly, and you wouldn't think like this thing. I actually like this thing. I think it what did me in.
Yeah.
You know, but it really hits the wrist and forearm hard.
They'll catch up with you fast.
Oh yeah. Here, these can be used for like you can slip it on the pin, on the loading pin, and you can do like what's called a vertical bar lift. This is I think 2 3/8 inches in diameter. This is like 2. These are also really good to hook up into your power rack, do pull-ups, or like say hook it up into your cable machine, do pull downs or rows with it. You know, so if you're doing like an arm over arm pull or a truck pull and you don't have rope, these come in really handy. I think we got these from Rogue.
Yeah, I think those
That's
came
homemade.
from Rogue.
Yeah.
This is the homemade version. Yeah, these also would have come from
These.
Rogue.
We haven't used these much. I thought these were just kind of cool.
They're neat.
But you can do like a one-handed lift, you know, little cannonballs, I guess. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
you can call these.
I have seen some where you can make them yourself with like some eye bolts and baseballs and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how heavy you can go with that, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess you'll find out. If
Yeah.
you know.
yeah.
So, but these were great. Same principle. Do pull-ups with it, chin-ups, pull-downs, rows, or whatnot. Just really hits the hand. Put it on the end of a chain and knock somebody out with it. You know.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. This is probably what I would consider one of the most painful toys that we have here.
I hate this, and every time somebody gets it out, I have to try it, and I hate it every time.
What was this called? A Logan lift?
Yeah, this is the Logan lift.
So
This is not ours. This
yeah,
is
this is
Spencer's.
Spencer's. He bought this. He just
I'll find the link for that. It might be Arm Assassin.
That
something.
sounds right,
I'll
yeah.
look it up. I'll put it somewhere
Yeah.
on the
like I said,
screen.
none of the stuff is sponsored or anything like
No.
this. It's just stuff that we've collected or people have brought in. So if you see the prongs here, so how do you lift that? Well, guess what? You take your hand, you put them between the prongs like that, and you grip it like so. So you basically lift like a one-arm deadlift without actually gripping anything. You're just basically using the tension between your fingers to hold. If you have thick mitts, thick fingers, beneficial.
Less pain.
Way less painful because we actually have a couple of guys here who have like thick hands and thick fingers, and it's way more comfortable for them.
Yeah, it hurts my hands a lot.
This hurts.
I have
This
seen
hurts.
people doing pull-ups with them with like body weight. I don't know.
I don't
know how they're doing it.
Yeah,
it
it's
hurts. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But you might want to get one. They're kind of fun.
And it's like whenever someone comes out, they always want to try this because oh, what's that? So this is the Rolling Thunder. This is probably from 30 years ago as well. Still in use. Iron sells excellent grip training tools. You basically train one hand at a time. It's like a one-arm deadlift. They call it rolling thunder because it'll roll out of your hands and it'll crash to the floor and create a bunch of thunders. But you can do this out of like the lat pull down and pulley row. You can attach this. Mainly it's for loading pins. It works really well. You can do max effort, reps, timed holds, brutal. This is actually something that you're looking to do, is that crush to dust challenge.
The third one on the crush to dust challenge.
We made these for our Hercules hold implement that we have out in back. That's the biggest grip toy that we have. I thought that one over there was, but apparently not.
That's true. I thought that one, the one over here is probably the stupidest grip toy we have.
Yeah, we'll include that. But yeah, we made these handles. These non-rotating is kind of like a farmer's hold, but in a crucifix position. We have some like the specialty stuff now. Some loading pins. These are all homemade, obviously. That one is way older, as you can see. It's just like a flange screwed onto the bottom of a pipe. This I welded a while back, and these just kind of slip in and out like so. So not only can you use these as a loading pin, you can actually use these for grip related stuff too. So you can actually grip the neck like so and do a one-arm deadlift. It's called a vertical bar lift. I don't know, we should do that all the time. Yeah. It's just, it's fun. I talked about earlier about Atlas stones and bags and whatnot. So we made this, made this thing here. It was just as an experiment. And it's supposed to simulate like picking up an Atlas stone or a bag. And so what that does is it puts a lot of tension on your fingers, wrists, and forearms. And it was a happy accident because originally I was looking just to hook it up into a pulley system, but I found this U-bolt, fortunately for us, actually a barbell can slip right through here. So you can actually use this as a T-bar row, which works even better. So it was a happy accident. This was actually the opening of a log that we had made. Just cut it out. Hey, works out great. You know, now it's not as easy as it looks. And at the time I thought, wow, we really came on to something. Yeah. And then I looked it up online, and sure enough, other people have come up with the same idea. So
yeah, we thought it was our $1 million invention, but somebody else already did it.
But it works. It works. This thing's been around for a while, if you can't tell. It's homemade. This is for lever lifting. So you can do levers this way. It's just for the wrist, basically. You don't need a lot of weight. This is only a 2.5 pound plate, and you can adjust it closer or more out towards the lever for different resistance. You can just kind of use it, put your hand a little bit closer in. It's for wrist strength and that. And one of the things is like, well, why would you want to train your wrist? Well, why not? Because honestly, if you're doing a farmer's carry and you got to do a turn, you want to crank into the turn. So if you have weak wrists, well, guess what? The weight's just going to keep going straight. So train your wrists. Got a series of fat grips. This is my original set. Made these in '96 actually.
Okay.
So this is 2 inches diameter. All it is just basically roofing rubber with electrical tape. Works great. If you don't want to sacrifice a dumbbell, they come out with these with fat grips there. That's like the angled version. They work great. You know, if you're really looking to do some like hammer curls, dumbbell curls, rows, presses, doesn't matter. Having a slightly thicker handle puts a whole new dynamic on the lift.
They'll break your heart. You'll think that you can do the same weight as you can with a regular one. Nah.
It's very, very humbling, very humbling. Kettlebells. All right. People wouldn't think that kettlebells are for grip, but you can do these for grip. You can grab the neck, twist them, kind of like what we showed earlier with the lever bar. You can do like almost like wrist curls with it. The other thing that we have, somewhat grip related, this is basically from like arm wrestling, is that you can attach a strap to the kettlebell and you can do like wrist rolls, and you can switch it around and do the opposite side as well. We'll probably do individual videos on each of these down the road, because there's a lot of things here that you can utilize several different ways, and it attacks. It's like lures in a tackle box. Yeah. You don't want to use the same lure like all the time, but sometimes you have to use like a specialty lure.
All right, so we're gonna move over to round 2.
So we're gonna go ahead and show you the next installment here. So This is a Titan 3-inch diameter axle. It sucks. No, really, I'm serious.
Very difficult.
It's difficult. Like I said, it doesn't suck. It's actually a really good piece of
Yeah.
equipment. The newer generations of Titan have really stepped up their game, and I don't have anything against Titan. They make some really good stuff. Relatively cheaper than some other companies, but like I said, we're not being endorsed. It's just what we have. But the 3-inch axle, it really challenges your grips and forearm. You can do wrist curls with it, clean and presses. Oh boy, that's. I was at a contest a number of years ago. It was a pro level show. They were using 3-inch axles, and that made it a lot more difficult. The next bar, sanctioned bar. So it's 3x3 tubing.
Big square.
It's for pinch grip. The sanctioned bar is old school. It's kind of cool to be able to do like pinch grips with both hands. Next up is the more traditional axle, which most strongmen are used to, 2 inches diameter. This is our lighter one. We actually have a heavier solid one, which is weighs like 80 pounds. This is like a 20 or 25 pound bar here. This is mostly what you'll see in contests.
This is something you can make yourself, but I was just seeing a conversation online about that. By the time you get all the equipment and put everything together and all that, like just go order one. You can get one for like $100 right now.
Honestly, well, so this one I made years ago. These collars are from Iron Mine. These collars cost more than an axle today.
Yeah.
So even though this was homemade, this costs way more than an actual axle. Back then we didn't really have access to the axles and stuff. But next up, this is more traditional. It's a farmer's carry implement. So we have a few different sets here. This is just our pipe set. We made this a few years ago. Works great.
The dog's very sad.
He is sad. But you can also get these. They're relatively not as expensive as you'd think they'd be online. This is cool. So this is the wrist roller.
Here, I'll hold it.
Yeah.
So
This is the wrist roller. So the carabiner.
rack.
Okay. The carabiner fits onto a loading pin, and then you take this and you wrist roll it up. So you kind of sit up in the rack and that.
Yeah, put it into a rack.
Don't have your spouse hold it for you. So this is nice. It has knurling on it, so you get a really good purchase to it. The bar, this thing is so old. It's something that my dad used in our living room, much to the chagrin of my mother. He would use this to lift weights with, I think curls and stuff. That was a long time ago.
A few years ago.
Like 45 years ago. And so we use it for the wrist roller here. This is from Iron Mind as well. They got really quality
Yeah,
stuff.
this one's really nice. The knurling it makes it easier, of course, to hold on to than just the piece of pipe that you had, but ooh, it's a little tough on the hands.
If you have thick calluses, you can exfoliate them.
Yeah, especially when you go to let go of it and let it go, you just sort of like let off and just exfoliate.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't think some simple as rope could really tax your grip. Well, we actually did a few videos on rope training. Man, you throw this over your pull-up bar and do pull-ups by gripping the ropes like that. Oh yeah, that's a game changer there.
Throw them on the bar, do rows, do pull downs.
Yeah, anything. You do curls with these. It'll catch up with you. You can go to a hardware store, relatively cheap. Just get like maybe 4 feet worth of rope, and you can cut it in half. And you have 2 sections that you can actually roll, throw over your pull-up bar, do pull-ups, rows. So this thing was given to us years ago by Patrick Hayes. He's a good friend. So this is kind of unique. We did not make this, but this is homemade. So the handles are the same diameter as your Iron Mine grippers. What's nice with this, you can do it with one hand, 2 hands. The special thing about this machine that you don't really find on other grip machines is that it has this nifty lever. You can put your foot on the lever, raises the handle, and then you can do like a timed hold. And I'll tell you what, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That really hurts. Very productive though.
So we saved the biggest things for last. We've got 2 more things to show you that you probably don't have at home, but we'll show you anyway. The first one is probably quite possibly the silliest piece of equipment that we own, and it's super cool. And then the last one will be the biggest piece of grip equipment that we own. So let's go. So this is Hammer Thoris Rex. A few years ago, we had the idea to do a contest that we called Overheads and Deads, and it was just going to be an overhead lift and a deadlift. And we got everything ready to go, and then we found out that we needed to add a third event. And so we did the obvious thing. We had someone make a giant Thor's hammer, and we made a vertical bar hammer lift as the third event.
This thing is awesome. So
It's so cool.
So our friend Mike Pellegrino, he's a metal fabricator. He made this thing. I gave him a draft, so I was gonna make it myself. And he offered. I'm like, all right, you know. Well,
It's even cooler than the original draft because it is all diamond plate.
and the funny thing about it was my original draft. This was gonna be much, much bigger. But all he had available, I think, is like 3/8 inch thick steel. And so it more like doubled the weight. So we went ahead and we kind of tapered it in a little bit. So
it's much more sensible and reasonable.
Yeah.
It is 170 or 180.
yeah, I think it's like
empty.
170 empty. Yeah.
And it's plate loadable, so
Yeah,
you can
so-
actually take it apart.
So you got the pin here. You lift this up, you put the plates inside. In order to lift this, you actually have to stand on a block on each side. And I think we were having the guys do one-handed lifts, I think. Because originally the idea was to do a two-handed lift. However, we realized that since this is a smaller design, that we couldn't load it up heavy enough for a two-handed lift, so we opted for a one-handed lift. So that's why you see all the marks right through here.
Now, unfortunately, I don't know if I have any footage from Comp Day. I got super sick right before then, and so I wasn't there. If anybody has them, if you were there and you lifted it, send them over. We'll share them.
Yeah, this thing's fun. You know, we don't get this out much because it's kind of big. Chances are you probably don't have one of these. So just saying.
Yeah, maybe not. If you weld, maybe you want to make one.
Yeah.
So, our biggest piece of grip equipment, the Hercules hold.
It definitely is probably weighs the most on everything that we have here, at least for grip stuff. I made this for Christmas last year, and works pretty simple. You know, handles go up,
Go in,
release it,
the handles you saw inside go in there, hold on.
just hold it for time.
We're gonna have to put something on it to make it fancy for
Yeah.
October, and then the pile of gifts goes back on it for December. But yeah, pretty cool thing, a lot of fun to play with. That's most of everything. I'm sure we'll find some stuff that we missed. What are we missing? What do you have that we don't have that we need? Let us know, and we will see you in the next one.